Come on in, get comfy. I love to hear your opinion. It's that time, my time. Shy City Chat.
Long-time relationship couple. How are you guys today?
We was doing pretty good.
Jeremiah?
I'm doing fine.
Okay, great. Okay, so Miss Kwanda, I know you have a business, and I would like you. I love your business, and I am a customer. So, would you please elaborate on your business and where people can find you?
Yes. So I have an adult sex toy line. I also have a lingerie line that'll be dropping this weekend. So follow me on Facebook at Karma Queen or my Facebook page, Pleasures and Curfew.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with your questions, okay? Okay, so the first question is for you, Kwanda. Do you believe self-conscious hate is real in a relationship?
Yes. I don't think it is intentional, but I do believe that it's real, and it comes from the fact that in a relationship, you are challenged. You are challenged by seeing what the other person is doing versus what you've been raised with. And then it kind of becomes an inner battle with yourself because now you're going against what I see versus what I've been taught. And it's like, it becomes a huge difference. So you kind of don't know which way to go.
Okay. Okay, Jeremiah, do you agree or disagree with that?
No, I agree.
You agree? Okay,
Yes.
that's good. Okay, do any of the other panelists have anything to say about self-conscious hate in relationships? No? Okay, hold on one second. Let's add it to the screen. We got it. Yes, go ahead. We're all ears.
Well, I just feel like I agree with what she said because I feel like, in today's society, men and women, they look at, other people, try to compare themselves. So that brings questions upon themselves or what they're doing with themselves. And
social media has a big part of that too.
Yes, I agree. I really do agree. Yes. So especially the part when you say that when you're looking at someone else and then you see that they have it, and then you try to see what's going on with you to make sure you have it, and then you're looking at your spouse and you saying, okay, so you got it, I ain't got it. What you doing that I ain't doing? And then it's like you have to check yourself for that like one little second. You got to check yourself to make sure you understand that y'all a team and you gonna get yours when it's time. You know what I'm saying? So I agree. Yes. Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, so Jeremiah, you ready for your question?
Yeah, all right.
Okay. Is there a curfew that needs to be in effect in a relationship?
I don't want to call it a curfew. But yes, there should be some type of, I don't think you have to really establish that. It's more about respect. Okay. If you respect your partner, you know not to walk up in his house in no fastest clock. That's disrespectful. Plus, on top of that, we have something that's called life. Like, we got to get up in the morning. We got kids. We got to send them to school. You come in here 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, you drunk. We can't do that. So I just don't like the word curfew. But yes, it's still, I don't think we have to establish it neither. It should come naturally to me. It comes natural. It's all based on morals of basically how you was raised to me, personally.
Love it. Kwanda, how you feel about your man grew up?
I totally agree. I definitely thought he was going the other way for a minute. I don't like the word curfew. I don't like feeling like in a relationship you have to control and tell each other what to do. It comes out for respect. We have a conversation before we enter this relationship and while in it. So you know where my expectations are. And I know what yours are. So there are certain lines that should not be crossed. I shouldn't have to tell you, be in the house by 3 o'clock. Because we already know that, okay, it gets a little disrespectful at a certain time. That's something we have a conversation, we communicate, and we establish.
I love it, especially the word respect. That's what it should be. Okay, so any other panelists have anything to say or add or take away? No, they agree with you. I love it. Okay, so now this question is for the both of you. Okay, so I know that you guys both were blessed with bonus babies. Yes, and I love bonus baby. I love babies. Period. Just kids are a blessing all the time. I just wanted to ask this question: how do you feel about the system when it comes to visitation and custody rights? Jeremiah, you can go first, and then Quanda, you can elaborate.
Okay. For me personally, I'm actually going through that right now, so it's an emotional topic for me. So just bear with me.
Oh no, you.
I feel like women, excuse my language, women have too much power when it comes to the child. We make them, y'all carry them, you birth them. But when it comes to everything else, like I just had this conversation with my significant other, everything else pretty much falls on the father. They tell you that child support is a good thing. To me personally, it's not. That's just my personal opinion. They say it saves you. It saves me from what? Nobody can answer that question for me. As far as visitation rights, you always lay down with the wrong person. And it always works out bad. It always works out bad. I just know. It's always the good baby daddy and the bad baby mama, or the good baby mama and the bad baby daddy. I love my kids dearly, and I'm trying to work that out as far as visitation, because I'm really down talking about, really. I just seen them, and I haven't seen them in like 6 to 8 months due to the stupidity of the mother. And I've been trying to do everything in my power to work it out between us. I don't want to sound like I'm racist or nothing, but I don't like the judicial system. I don't think we should have to go to that limit when the type of father that I am. We don't have to go to those measures of you have to go to the courts and put me on papers when I take care of my kids. You know this wholeheartedly. You don't have to ask me for anything. I'm not calling your phone to ask you what my kids need. I'm just dropping off a box. And I got socks, pajamas, drawers. I got all that enough. I got about 5, 6 outfits, probably 2 pairs of shoes. I got some sandals if it's hot. I know what to do. And as the woman that laid down with me, I thought you would have had enough respect for me to not even go that route. I got 6 kids, about 4 different women. And it's kind of hard juggling that. I wish I would have listened back then, but I didn't. So now I just got to suck it up and keep going. I don't know. I just emotional for me. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't like the system at all. I think the system needs to be changed. And I think a lot of men, powerful men, young men, poor men, we all need to come together and do something about that. Because there's a lot of hurt fathers out here, and there's a lot of fathers that want to be fathers in this era. My era. I'm from the 90s. I'm sorry. I'm from the 90s. A lot of people in my era actually want to be fathers versus what we didn't have. I didn't have a father growing up, so that made me want to be there for mine. I made a mistake and, juggle through 4 women. Okay. We live, we learn. I own up to them, and I'm man enough to say I still take care of all 6 of my kids. No matter where they are, I still come to them. But this is what the woman allows me to do. You understand what I'm saying? That's how much power you have. Because all you have to do is shut it down and say it's over. And guess what I am? Excuse my language, but I'm a non-multiple factor. She can run off to Atlanta. She can run off to Texas, and you become nobody. And then she can do so much as go in the courtroom or just go in there and fill out a thick old packet about this big and put a bunch of lies on them. And guess what you want now? Child support. But guess what? You've been with that woman for 7 years, and you took care of them kids, and you took care of her. Worked day in, day out. Bust your ass. Did everything under the sun to make sure you was good and them kids was good. And the kids outside the relationship.
Wow. You got me tearing up. Okay.
It's real.
Yeah, no, because the thing is, I agree with everything that you're saying. I just never looked at it. I mean, I have looked at it as that way. However, I'm the person that always says, okay, well, just go get your kids. You know what I'm saying? I have, okay, my husband has bonus babies. My husband didn't have any other children. I did. So the thing is that my kid's father, I always made it available for them to be attached to their kids. I've never not did that. You know what I'm saying? So I say, just come get your kids. That's why I expect to say to the next person of a man that comes and say, okay, the system is messed up. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, just go get your kids though. What would you want if you were a child, what would you want your dad to do to make sure that you knew that they was there for you? That's my mind. But you breaking this down, you are totally right. The woman has more power. I do believe that there are systems and connections that men have put together to make sure that this falling short is taken care of. You making me want to research now. I'm definitely going to research this. Thank you. Quanda, with your bonus baby, how do you feel?
In my current situation, I have researched it, and there are some resources out there. However, there are not as many resources as there are for women, and they're not as easily accessible as they do make it seem when they are advertising or when they're reaching out to people. It's not as easy accessible. Also, I was more so like you on the other end, like, okay, just go and get your kids. And walking into this relationship, I didn't even expect all of that. And then when I got in it and I seen it from a different part, it made me as a mother want to also make sure that the availability is always there for my children and their dad. Just because I see how it affects them on the inside. That's the part nobody knows about. Nobody really sees, because as men, they're told to tuck their emotions and, you know what I'm saying, be a man about it. So nobody sees the breakdown that it causes when you decide, oh, I want you here today, but then I don't want you tomorrow. Or for whatever reason, you feel that it's okay to just remove the kids and say, well, I don't want them talking, or I don't want you dealing with your dad, or, you know, I've never paid attention into it until I walked into this relationship. And then it was like, wow, the breakdown is real, and it's not easy. You fight everybody, and we don't fight as much for our children as they make them fight from day one. And we've had this conversation multiple times, and that's why he says, well, with the situation as with custody, and it's like, well, go get your kids or go do the courts. But then it's like, why do I got to go through all of this? Are you going through all of this just to say you want to for the kid? Fine, but for one, mom is not getting all of that money. So guess what she still needs? She still needs the support. And then she's going to the government to get assistance, who's now tacking that on to my bill. But where are you paying that at? You're getting the assistance, but I'm paying for it. And you're not paying for it. You're not coming in and saying, oh, well, after you know what I'm saying, after you've got it for so amount of time, now you need to pay this back. And yes, I understand why the government don't do it, but then you tack it on to their bill, and then they get not only just it's a bill of theirs, they can go to jail behind it, and you can literally go into court and say, I want you to go and arrest him.
Wow.
I want him arrested. So it does. You can go in there and say what you want to say in the court, and now he has to come and fight what you said. Versus, well, where's this both sides of the story? Okay, well, I got to come to you because of something she said. Now I got to come to you and prove who I am, prove the type of person I am based off of what she said. And we literally just had this conversation last week. Okay. So it was, we went back and forth for a while. And like I told him, I understand where you were saying. And I had to, sit back and like, well, maybe his points are even more valid than you thought at first. It's actually how it is. It's not right, but that's how the government got it set up.
Yes. No, I completely understand. You have to actually put yourself all the way in the situation. Okay. So the other panelists, do you guys have anything to add or take away from this? No? Jeremiah, you got it, babe. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, it's very much so real. And I appreciate you saying it all, because my show reaches more people than I thought. I'm so yes, which is our lovely engaged couple, Meta and Quan, and they are engaged to be married. And okay, so how are you guys today?
We're doing good. We're doing good.
Okay, y'all look so cute. Okay, So we're gonna go ahead and jump into your you guys' question. Okay, so the first question is for you, Quan. Career-wise, are you willing to sacrifice your happiness for your wife, and why? Well, your significant other, your soon-to-be wife.
Yes, I feel like I'll be willing to sacrifice my career for my happiness, especially if I see that if it's something that she's motivated and passionate about, that's what she want to do. Yeah, I'm willing to take the back seat and follow her lead on this, and because I know it's going to work out, pay benefits for me in the future. So, yeah, I'm willing to back seat on that.
Okay, so Meta, how do you feel about him risking his happiness sacrificing his happiness for you?
That's real love. I can only thank God for it and just appreciate it. And that just means I have to grind just to prove that I got us in the long run.
Okay. I love it.
That's a good question. We've actually been down that road, whereas we were both in the same field work-wise. And he was coming home mentally stressed from it. And he kept talking about it. It's just like, well, find out what you want to do and just quit. Whatever it is, just quit. And he thugged it out, and he hung on to it for the longest until he kept bringing it home. And I think that's when he realized that, okay, now it's affecting my home life. And quit one day, just stop going. And ever since then, it's just been a much peaceful experience coming home.
Okay.
So we've had those roles reversed before.
Okay. Well, great.
Yes.
Okay. Do any of the other panelists have anything to add or take away from the career-wise? Are you willing to sacrifice your happiness for your wife?
Yeah, I definitely agree with them. I definitely believe that happiness is based on comfort. So whether she's the one getting to it, I can be comfortable because of what she's creating. And somewhere within what she's creating, I have a position somewhere within that. So I definitely believe that. And shout out to my man for quitting. Your mental health, brother, was definitely more important, not bringing that to the crib, affecting the crib life.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm with it. Yeah. Yes. People don't understand that your happiness is way more important than a whole lot of other stuff. Peace of mind is what it is. Yes. And that's real love, baby. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next question, which is for you, Meta. If your significant other came home and came up on some money from an injury, do you expect them to give you half or just, take care of you? Like, do you expect for some type of lump sum when it comes to the money wise, or is that, because I'm asking this question for the fact that you guys are engaged, and usually when you're engaged and not actually married, money becomes a thing that people raise higher. So that's the reason why I want to know, if your significant other came up on some money, would you expect, what would your expectations be?
For us, with our dynamic, we all have our strengths. And in our relationship, managing money is a strength that I do have. Yeah, I do. I've came in the gate with it, and I just know how to maneuver it and how to save and add to it and invest it. We do have our strengths and weaknesses, and he's gotten actually better. So he give me my props on how he goes about shopping and things like that, because he didn't think about that beforehand. So if it came down to a lump sum of money, I would not expect, but knowing Quan, he would give me half, because he knows I'm going to make this half stretch. Especially if he's going to be out of work, I know to make this half stretch, I'm going to actually grind and add to that half, and he's going to be able to sit in and get himself back to 100%. And he won't have any worries at all. It's just all about playing on your strengths and weaknesses. Whatever his strength is, I just sit back and I let him take the lead, and I watch and I observe and I learn over the years, and I've gotten better because of his strength when it comes to like communicating or just knowing how to love better and things like that. We all have our strengths, and we play on that. We do play on that. We actually balance each other out really well. I can't say when I'm weak in, he's strengthened. I have no worries.
That's beautiful. Okay, so I just have to ask a question before, Quan, before you give your input, or say that she did everything, say it right. I just want to know, so when it comes to the fact that you are stronger when it comes to finances, right? And he knows this, right? So when it comes to a situation that has to do with money, and it's a him issue, when it has to, like, how can I say it? Is he willing to always make sure let you make the decisions when it comes to finances, since you make better choices when it comes to finances? Like, you know how some people say, okay, so I'm gonna let you handle this. So is he okay with letting you take the whole situation and take care of it?
I would let her take the forefront on the issue when it comes to money. Cause I know she's gonna make the better choices. She's gonna do what needs to be done. Whereas me, I might lack off or something, or get stagnant in what I'm doing or what I'm supposed to be doing. So I know she'll be more on it than I would be.
But it's something that we discuss and battle. So the thing is, I'm not indecisive, but when I do make a decision, it's a strong decision and I stand on it. So that's when we kind of battle. And so we'll discuss it for some time. And then it's, okay, let's weigh our pros and cons. And then that's what we'll go with. For sure. We do communicate on it.
That's beautiful. You know how many people will know that their significant other is good at something and still won't allow them to take the whole.
But
that's beautiful.
Teach me.
Okay. Okay. I love it. Okay, so do anyone of the other panelists have anything to say about this? Do they think that hands up? No. Oh, I guess. Okay. Go ahead.
I totally like the dynamic of that. That's something that we do as well. Nowadays, relationships, we feel, should be role-less. Like, you know how back in the day it was a known thing that the woman stays home and do this, that, and the other. The man does this, that, and the other. But these days, like you said, you have to figure out who's better at what, and then allow that person to operate in a strength. And then, like for us, my husband is the better one with finances. He makes the final decisions, but we come together on it and we agree. He let me know what's going on here. This is the budget for this month. This is what we gonna do, this, that, and the other. And it's cool. And I don't feel any type of way like I should be doing it because I'm the woman. And then even when it comes to cooking and like washing the dishes, washing the clothes, it's not like, oh, because you're the man, you're supposed to do this, and I'm the woman, I'm supposed to do that. It's just whoever's better at it. Whatever the flow is gonna be to make our household flow cool. You know what I'm saying? So I totally like that. I definitely like that.
I do too. I really do. That's beautiful. Okay. Yes, that's beautiful. Okay, so now we have a question for the both of you. I am going to let Quan start this off. Okay, so has your feelings about your religion changed from childhood to adulthood? Quan, you can go ahead and speak, and then Meta, you can.
All right, I wouldn't necessarily say my religion has changed. I would just say more so like on the belief system. Cause like from when I was born and raised in like a Christian church, to believe in the Bible, everything that's in the Bible is good for you. But as I became an adult, I started having my own questions about certain things, and I do my own research. But I still kind of found myself looking for answers and that type of thing. So I would say it changed somewhat, but not like a whole 360. So that's how I would just say it.
Okay. Meta, how about you?
I agree with us being Christians, but two, we're looked upon to read your Bible and attend church and be active members of church. And then it's like, okay, if we don't, does that make me less Christian? If I have my own relationship with God, and this is who I pray to, we pray daily. Is it shone upon that I don't attend church regularly? So that's the battle when it comes to having a religious belief and then trying to, you want to please everyone because his grandparents is very heavily involved into our church. So, so she's like, oh, always come out. And sometimes work don't even allow us to do that as well. But as long as we have praise and worship at home, I feel like we're okay. As long as we pray and thank God through the good and the bad, we're okay. But then it's like you get these eyes, looked upon you like, you don't have, because we're getting older, you don't have a church home. Also, now you're not as Christian as the next person. So that's the everyday battle that we're trying to figure out. We do believe in a higher being, so we're still trying to find that journey and just figure it out day by day. So it just gets harder.
Okay. So, do any of the other panelists have anything to say about it? Okay, hold on one second. Okay, we're gonna go with you first. Go ahead.
I actually battled with this a little bit because, like they said, you are taught, that this is a Christian home, and you're taught all of these rules and all these things that are not supposed to happen or that you're supposed to do. And then as I got older, of course, watched TV, and I started realizing that there were other religions out there. So I did a little research, and I looked into them, and none of them fit me. Even Christianity didn't fully fit me. And I had that battle of, am I supposed to live? Do it supposed to fit, everything that's in the Bible? And then I realized that the Bible is made up anyways. It's not, honestly, it's rewritten so many times that certain situations and certain messages get lost in translation. So I do feel like she said, once you get the praise and worship at home, you know how to sit down and you praise him, regardless of how you do it. As long as you give him that praise and you give him that thanks, then I think you are fine. But it changed a lot. Church, it all kind of threw me out for a long time.
Okay. So I'm gonna bring the Kaisers in on this for 1 second. Okay. So Brian, get other two couples. They it's the thing of people basically saying you have to be at a church to actually worship God and know, you have to do things that are in the Bible to say that you are a Christian, is what I'm saying.
I guess the opposite word that you just mentioned, people say, right? Mm-hmm. People say a lot of things. I think it's more relational versus religion. If you have a relationship with God, if you know where you stand in your relationship with God, mm-hmm. I think that's what's really important, because if you allow people will put you in a prison. Yep. Because of their own beliefs, their own ideologies. It's people been in church for 20 years and more hellish than somebody that don't even go to church at all.
And still don't have a relationship with God.
But you go to church religiously. Religion is something that's done out of routine. You go to church every Sunday, you at every function, but you still don't have a relationship. You cursing everybody out. I mean, you mean, evil as ever. And it's like, what God are you serving? Yeah, so I think it's definitely relational. God definitely looks at the heart, the inward part of a man. And I don't believe in allowing people to put us in a prison. Mm-hmm. Your first ministry is your home, especially if you're married. That's your first ministry, right? So her and I experienced it. We was at church every Sunday. We had something going on Fridays. We was at church on Saturdays. And one day, I guess she just was burnt out and just kind of like snapped. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on, because I was just so caught up in the routine. It's going. And when she was like, I can't do this anymore. So we took a step back, and I was like, wow, I didn't realize I was burnt out myself. So I think it's more relational.
Okay. Well, you have a personal relationship, and then we all see that you can worship God at home during COVID, because how many churches had online church? We all were streaming. So, I mean, it shows it can be done. You don't have to physically be in a building to fellowship, absolutely. But to be in a building to have a relationship or establish your relationship with God, no, absolutely not. It's in your heart.
It's like our spirituality journey is just finding out what our spirits are supposed to do out here on earth. Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, yes. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you guys. Okay, so thank you so much. I'm going to move to the... Okay, so we have the Kaisers with the Kaiser Way, and they are the I'm sorry, I don't want to mess it up. Go ahead and tell us everything that you guys do. You guys are Black excellent. You guys have, I mean, I'm a fan. Like, literally, I was a fan on Instagram. And you know, Toy, I've been loving you since we way back. And then when we are adults and you guys said mush together, and I was like, oh, goodness, it's just two of them. Yes. So, yes. Okay. So go ahead and tell everyone what you guys do.
So we consider ourselves now relationship fundamentalists. And we just got a slogan: don't reach for the deeper until you discover the basics. So that's pretty much who we are in a nutshell. You can follow us on
Instagram, The Kaiser's Way, TikTok, The Kaiser's Way, YouTube, The Kaiser's Way.
Yes. Okay, so before we get to your question, okay, so the first question is for you, Brian. Okay, how often do you think a married couple should have sex?
I think it's definitely based off the rhythm and the culture and climate of the relationship. For us, you know, out of 7 days, 3.
Okay.
And if we can't get to the 3, we definitely have a conversation. But sometimes the marriage itself will tell you it's time to engage, right? The marriage itself, yeah, definitely. The marriage itself would tell you it's time to engage, because a lot of times frustration is an indicator of an unmet need. So I can kind of tell when she, okay, it's time for me to, you know.
Joy, did you just say?
Yeah, she needs.
I'm gonna have to hit my girl up now on Instagram. Need some
Yes, ma'am.
I know, you know, she needs some act right. So the marriage is sometimes itself, but for us, 3. And if we can't get to the 3, you know, sometimes there's a meeting of the minds.
Yeah, because you be frustrated too, walking around like angry man.
And you know when it's time to tap in.
Yes, I tell my husband he sound like a caveman.
Okay.
Right. Okay, sir, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, so Toy, you feel the same way about the 3?
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree. Sometimes that 3 can be challenging because you do so much, especially when you have kids. Yes. And they're involved in activities. We constantly on the go. So a lot of times you get home and you exhausted. And I don't know about nobody else, but I don't want no sloppy sex. You know what I'm saying? I want to be like all in. I need you to be all in. So sometimes it's hard because of our schedule, but it's very important though. So yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring Quanda on just to ask, is this like, because she deals with people every day when it comes to this stuff. So I just want to know, like, is this normal for it to be? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I want to know, is it normal for it to just be like, you know, is it a certain amount within a week? Wait, you got to unmute yourself.
I don't think it's like a set number. I think it's more so depends on who both of you are and what your schedules look like. A lot of people tend to think that it's a bad thing to schedule sex, and it's not. Mm-hmm. It actually builds the anticipation. It actually get both of you guys in the mood. You know that it's coming. You don't get caught off guard, which tends to be one of the biggest hard parts for actually interacting and having sex, is because you're caught off a guard. Like, oh yes, he's in the mood, but now you ain't in the mood. You're in the mood again. He's not in the mood. And it's just like, it doesn't quite all the time mesh well. Mm-hmm. So I don't think like, oh, we need to have sex every day. We need to have sex 4 times a week. I think it's more so of sometimes it's just scheduling. Like you said, you can to understand in your relationship when sex is needed. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, look, let me get you together. Okay. So you can leave me alone for a minute. And I am a proud supporter of actually scheduling, especially when you have kids, you got family, households. Mm-hmm. Scheduling it is literally one of the best things ever.
Right.
Hey. Thank you.
No, because he's saying that because he mentioned that before, like maybe a few years ago, about scheduling. And I'm like, scheduling? Like, yeah, so my days is Monday, whatever this day, and then you will have your days. And I'm like, I thought, to me, that just didn't make sense because I guess I was in the box. Yeah, you know what I'm
that
saying?
you've been taught as a coming up.
Exactly.
That is not also scheduling. It makes yourself automatically feel that it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're taught coming up that you're not really supposed to feel that. You know, you should not be out here excited to just go and have sex. And in reality, you should. Like, it's not just for him, it's for you. It's not just for her. You know, it is an experience for both of you. Mm-hmm. Spontaneous is always a good thing. It's always nothing to just pop out and be spontaneous, but scheduling it ensures that both of you get that time that you need. It should not get to the points where they become super cranky because you look, I just got you together on Thursday. Like, give me the Saturday, like I said. Yes, when you out and about or you play, day nights, or you just walking at home and you want a surprise, of course, spontaneous is always one of the best things. But because we have full lives, spontaneous doesn't always work out. It don't always work. I can't always come home and say, I'm going to go have sex when I get home. And then get home and you got 3 kids, 4 kids running around like, oh, I'm hungry, I need to do this. So now by the time you get done, you don't want to do it anymore. Yeah. So sometimes scheduling just ensures that it's going to happen. Yes, you don't have to always stick to your schedule. You can change it. It's for you to. So it can be changed. It can be amended. You know what I'm saying? It could be put off, but it has to be an agreement on both of you. Like, okay, we both a little tired. Can we reschedule this to tomorrow? And it's like, oh, okay. It's the same thing as saying, well, when I wake up in the morning, I like to wake up to sex. That means they're scheduling it, because who's going to get up and say, let me just get
every day? Look.
It becomes a lie, and you don't want it to feel like a job.
Yes, that part.
A task.
Yes.
You want it to be fun. So sometimes spontaneous give you the chance to plan stuff. To make it fun. I say we got to do it Thursday. I'm going to run to the store on Tuesday. It gives you that chance to do that because you know it's coming. And then the anticipation is building up. So you get hot just by thinking this, oh man.
It's going to happen.
Exactly. So you get the anticipation, which makes the orgasms better. It makes the sex better. Y'all do y'all thing.
Okay, yes. Okay, yes. Okay. I love it. Yes. Okay, yes.
That was good.
Thank you.
Yes. Next question is for you, Toya. What's one thing in your relationship that you guys lost that you think that you guys should get back?
That being spontaneous. But again, it's hard. Like you said, when you have kids, but we need to be more intentional about doing certain things. Be intentional about putting that time aside for just each other. So that's something that we've been doing more of, being intentional about it. So I think that's something that any married couple, if you lost that, just get back to it. Be more intentional about it.
Okay. Brian, you feel the same?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Okay.
Definitely.
Cool. Okay, great. Okay, so next, this question is for, I'm sorry, hold on. Yes. Okay, so this question is for the both of you, okay? So I'm asking you guys because you guys have been in a relationship for longer than other people. So you have had hiccups, you've had, all of the extra, or know someone that has, so you can actually say, don't do that. Okay, so if your spouse and you had a disagreement which led to a bad argument, who do you go to first, and who should you never go to? Why and why not? Brian, you can go first.
So I guess in the beginning stages of our marriage, I guess we did what any newlyweds would do. We were running the family, and that was definitely a bad experience because after we've made up, the family members are still looking at us, like we Michael Myers or Jason. So then we had to go to family functions together, and it was just a complete bad experience. So just from our experience, we would never, ever again, allow entryways into our marriage in that factor. But now for me, the first person that I go to, I have a conversation with God. He knows my wife better than I do, so he can give me insight and foresight concerning her that I wasn't aware of. So that's the first person that I go to now. Just have a conversation with him, and he let me know what I need to do, what I need to check, what I need to correct. So that's the first person that I go to now.
And I believe you. Go ahead, Toya girl.
I agree as far as the mistakes we made, just not knowing, as far as running to our family, and then some of our friends. Some of your friends you definitely have to be careful of sharing your information with, what's going on in your private life, especially if you have friends that are not married, because it's like, not saying that they don't know anything about relationships, but marriage is a totally different thing. And how can they really help you if they have not been there themselves? You know what I'm saying? And then telling family members, like Brian said, the family, they love you. So I think that's just a natural thing to be protective. And so they still feeling some type of way about the situation, and you and your spouse or your boyfriend, fiance, y'all moved on from it. Y'all forgiving each other and y'all going on with life, and then you still got this negative energy over here. You know what I'm saying? And when you go to family functions, you can feel that. And it's like, well, we moved on. They still hold on to that because they're just protective. It's natural. Not that they're bad people. They just protective naturally. And then, I think you just got to stay away from that. You definitely have to stay away from that. And then if you do have a couple, married or not, or that's somebody that's been together for a while that you trust and you know they have your best interest at heart, you can have a conversation, maybe not share everything, but just to get some type of sometimes it feels good to know that somebody else is going through the same thing and you're not by yourself. I think that's one of the issues that we had. Okay. We trying to figure ourselves out, learn ourselves, and then try to learn somebody else. And then we felt like we was in it by ourselves. We had nobody to talk to. We had nobody to tell us, hey, it's going to be okay. Try this, try that. We didn't have that. So it was pretty much like trial and error. Yeah. So it's important. It's real important to have somebody that you can go to.
Yeah, and just in lieu of what she just said, the whole perception of there's nobody I can talk to, me feeling like I'm an island, I think that creates a perception of hopelessness. So especially when you get in those situations, so you feel like there's nobody that can relate to me, there's no hope. This is it. This is over. There's no way I can come out of this. Mm-hmm. But once you find somebody that can say, I can relate to that. We've been through this. We've been through that. Try this. That gives you a sense of hope, especially when they're talking about a marriage is concerned. Yeah. So.
Okay. Do any of the other panelists have anything to say about who to go to and who not to go to when or they hit it on the head? Oh, okay. Okay, did you?
We were saying we agree. They hit it on the head, like bringing family and friends into it. I haven't been there, done that, and it didn't play out good at all. So I know not to go that route. No.
We've actually therapy helped us. Mm. And COVID hit, so that postponed our wedding. And then actually we have to finish our therapy counseling too, because that helped us communicate better. A lot. So we still reach out to our therapist, but we have to finish those sessions to be able to finish the road to being married. So family and friends, I had a girlfriend that I would talk to daily, and she always had some type of issues, and he would come home, and instead of me greeting him with respect and just showing him how I'm happy to see you home, you made it home safely, I would have her issues in the back of my head, and now I'm angry, and now I'm upset. But that was just me having that conversation. I was listening to my girlfriend and her drama when I didn't even have that at my own home. And I was bringing that just because I absorbed that energy from somebody. So y'all hit it on the head. So yeah, therapy helped us a lot, helping us still to this day.
Yeah. And one thing about therapy too, what we learned as well is that therapy is not just for when you get ready to get married or when you having issues. Therapy is good just for maintenance. You know what I'm saying? Still go to a therapist. We highly recommend it just for maintenance. Ain't nothing got to be wrong. Just, go for sure.
And it opened up, it broadened our thoughts about it because, we started with just couples. And after leaving a few sessions, just like, you know what, homie, you should go get your own therapist and I go get my own too. Just to have those other outside factors to work on not only our relationship, but us as individuals as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I highly agree.
I recommend it.
Y'all know I'm for the therapist. Yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you. I really, really appreciate you. Yes. Y'all hit that on the head. So me personally, I have a question to ask you guys. I want to know. Okay, so don't you know how you get advice from other people to say what you should and shouldn't do when you're married?
Mm-hmm.
I've always gotten this: don't go to bed angry.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys go to? I mean, is it like real? Because I don't be like dead on trying to kill him when I go to sleep. But I mean, like, don't say nothing to me. That type of angry. Like, is that something I'm not supposed to do?
You shouldn't go to bed angry, but I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I do. I ain't gonna even lie. Sometimes I go to bed angry. I be in my emotions. I be in my feelings. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to deal with it right now. That's just what it is. But we shouldn't go to bed angry because God forbid that one of us didn't wake up the next morning and last thing y'all was beefing. You know what I'm saying? Then what? That guilt is on you. That we could have just had a conversation, and I'm guilty of it. I don't like to talk. I just shut down something that I'm working on. But you definitely should have a conversation before going to bed angry.
And I think that toxicity it's infectious. So if we didn't make up that night, when we wake up in the morning, that issue is still staring us in our face. And it's like, versus taking control of the moment, one moment has turned into a whole day. Now the day has turned into 2 days. Now the 2 days turned into a whole week. Like we bickering. That's not healthy for the house. It's not healthy for the children to see. And it's just not healthy for business. Like we got stuff we need to converse about, stuff we need to talk about so we can move on and start building this thing, get this train moving. And in a house, whole house, not saying that to nobody, walking past each other. It's like, come on, man. I can't keep breaking bread. I don't know. I can't do that. Let's talk about this, hash this out, let's move on. We got business to take care of.
But also, if one of you guys need a moment to, just figure it out, get your mind together, do that, because you definitely don't want to come into the conversation heated and then you saying things that you're going to have to take back, or it's hard to take back. You just, out of that anger, you just start talking crazy and talking reckless. So definitely take a minute. And then what we've learned is don't let that minute be so long. Say, hey, babe, give me about an hour and get my thoughts together so I'm not approaching you in a way. And then that's another issue because I didn't approach you right. So,
and that's one thing we learned in counseling. We really had to work on our communication skills, how to convey our thoughts and how we were feeling to one another. And that's one thing that they taught us in therapy, that her, default mechanism is she shuts down. Mine is I can't go to bed with you every night, raise these kids, and we into it. Like, we got business we need to attend to. We got to talk. Like, this is not good for business. So I had to learn that she may need a minute. I'm ready to talk right now. Let's get this out of the way and move on.
Yeah.
Her thing was, I need a minute. So through counseling, they taught us, okay, Toya, you let him know that you're going to revisit this before the night ends.
Okay.
Right? It's not take you 12 hours. You're going to revisit this. And I had to come to grips with, okay, she just need a minute. We're going to talk about this later. And it's like, that's where we found the rhythm. That's where we found that medium, that level where we both can fit.
Right. And that worked. As long as I let him know I'm acknowledging, okay, I need the minute, but I'm going to definitely come back to the table with this, then he's okay. But if I just shut down and don't say nothing, just disregard it, then that's a problem.
But then the roles can be flipped. When I shut down, and I ain't talking to her, now we got another problem.
A huge problem. Because that's not what you do. You don't shut down.
That part.
It's possible.
Yes, it is possible. And yes, you are right. Well, I needed to ask, honey. Okay. So I would like to thank everyone that came on today. I really, really appreciate you guys. This is the second season, episode 1 with the couples. We had the fabulous couple, Quanda and Jeremiah. We had the engaged, beautiful couple, Meta and Quan. And we had the experienced couple, Toya and Brian. I really, really appreciate you guys. This is the end of our show. And again, everyone has the tea. I'm the only one that brings the biscuit with it. Tune in again next Sunday. I will be here front and center. Thank you guys, and you guys have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, y'all.